Life doesn't suddenly get better. You get better, and your life follows. Your 30s are the turning point. This is the decade where momentum either begins or disappears. You can spend these years buying what looks rich or investing in what makes you rich, because the habits you repeat today become the lifestyle you live tomorrow. Wealth doesn't arrive, it accumulates. Slowly, silently, and always by design. Your 30s are not a decade of waiting, they are the decade of building. Too many people waste these years chasing comfort instead of constructing freedom. And here's the truth. What you build between 30 and 40 will echo for the next 40 years of your life. So the question is not, can you build wealth? The real question is, will you use this decade wisely or trade it for distractions that cost you your future? Before you ever build a fortune, you must first build a philosophy. Money, after all, is nothing but a reflection of your thinking. You can give a man $1 million, but if he doesn't have the philosophy of wealth, he'll be broke again in a year. On the other hand, you can take everything from a person who understands value, and before long, they'll have it all back. Why? Because philosophy always comes before fortune. The 30s are the decade where this truth must become real to you. It's no longer about how much you make, it's about how you think, how you decide, how you discipline your mind to see opportunity where others see obstacles. When I was younger, I used to think the key to wealth was more work, longer hours, harder labor, more hustle, but I was wrong. Wealth isn't built by sweat alone, it's built by sense, by an intelligent, consistent philosophy about life and money. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. The poor focus on effort, the rich focus on effectiveness. If you work all day digging ditches, you'll have sore hands but an empty wallet. But if you spend that same day studying principles that teach you how to hire others, manage systems, and multiply value, you begin to build a philosophy that outlasts labor. So, in your 30s, your greatest task is not to earn more, it's to think better. Start defining your beliefs about money. Do you believe money is evil? Then it will run from you. Do you believe it's a tool for freedom and contribution? Then it will find its way into your life through value and service. Money is neither good nor bad. It simply amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, it will magnify your generosity. If you're careless, it will magnify your mistakes. That's why a clear philosophy is so important. It keeps money in its proper place. I remember one of my early mentors telling me, if you want to become wealthy, don't just ask what to do, ask how to think. That changed my life. I started reading 10 minutes every day, not just about finance, but about human behavior, self-discipline, and character. I discovered that wealth follows wisdom. Every time I learned something that shifted my thinking, my income followed, slowly at first, then dramatically. Because when your philosophy grows, your results expand automatically. Your philosophy becomes your compass. Before you buy something, ask, does this align with the person I'm becoming? Does this serve my long-term plan or my short-term feeling? That small moment of reflection separates those who build wealth from those who borrow it. Don't chase the fortune, chase the principles that create one. Because if you build a solid philosophy, the fortune will take care of itself. Wealth follows wisdom, and wisdom begins with asking the right question. If you want to change your financial future, you must first change what you bring to the marketplace. The marketplace doesn't pay for time, it pays for value. You can't save your way to wealth if your earning power is weak. Saving is a discipline, yes, but earning is an art. In your 30s, the focus must shift from survival to significance, from just showing up to standing out. The rich don't wish for more money, they work to become more valuable. The more value you bring, the more the world is willing to reward you. When I was a young man working for a company, I earned just enough to survive. My mentor looked at me one day and said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills." That one line changed the direction of my life. I stopped blaming circumstances and started upgrading myself. Because you don't get paid by the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to that hour. If you want more money, you must become more valuable. In your 30s, that's your mission, master your craft. Whatever field you're in, study it like a scientist, practice it like an artist, and approach it like a professional. The difference between mediocrity and mastery is not luck. Most people stop learning the moment they leave school. The wealthy never stop. They're always reading, practicing, adjusting, improving. Because every new skill you acquire multiplies your earning potential. One high-value skill can change your entire financial destiny. Communication, leadership, marketing, investing, negotiation, digital literacy. Any of these can increase your worth tenfold if you commit to excellence. Remember this, income follows impact. The more problems you can solve, the more people will pay for your solutions. The poor think about earning more hours. The rich think about earning more impact. Don't chase promotions, chase proficiency. Don't hope for a raise, raise your results. Learn to do what few others can do and you'll never worry about income again. Find mentors, people who are already living the life you want in 10 years. Ask them how they think, how they plan, how they prioritize. Success leaves clues, and wisdom is one conversation away if you're humble enough to ask. And here's a truth I learned early. You can't out-earn your personal growth. The limit to your income is the limit to your personal development. Every time I worked on myself, my income increased automatically. Every book, every seminar, every skill, every habit, they all added zeros to my value. So don't focus on earning more money. Focus on becoming the kind of person who earns more money naturally. Because once you master earning power, once you become the kind of person who creates value effortlessly, money will never be your problem again. One of the greatest disciplines you can ever learn, and one that will determine whether you build wealth or chase it your entire life, is the ability to live on less than you earn. It sounds simple, but most people never master it. They work hard for years, yet never seem to get ahead because every raise becomes a new expense and every bonus becomes a new bill. But if you ever hope to build real freedom, you must learn to manage your money with purpose. The 30s are not the time for deprivation, they're the time for direction. You don't need to deny yourself. You simply need to design your habits so that money serves you instead of enslaving you. The 70/30 principle is a philosophy I've lived by and taught for years. It's not just a budgeting rule, it's a mindset, one that separates those who control money from those controlled by it. Here's how it works. Live on 70% of your income and let the other 30% build your future. Out of that 30%, you save a portion, invest a portion, and give a portion. Because if you can't manage $1, you won't manage 1,000. And if you can't manage 1,000, you won't manage 1,000,000. The principle remains the same, no matter the amount. Discipline always comes before abundance. When I first started earning a little money, I wanted to upgrade everything, the car, the clothes, the lifestyle. But then I realized that if I did that, I'd always be trading the future for the present. So instead, I made a simple commitment. Every time my income increased, I'd increase my investments and savings before I increased my spending. And that one decision changed everything. Because the habit of keeping and investing money builds confidence. It builds control. You begin to feel that money works for you, not the other way around. Now, you don't need to start big, you just need to start. Even 10% saved and invested with consistency will create a foundation most people never have. Automate it so discipline becomes effortless. Let your money move before you ever see it, directly into savings, investments, or growth accounts, and review it monthly, not to criticize yourself, but to course correct. If your spending isn't aligned with your goals, adjust it before it becomes a pattern. Some people think living on 70% means restriction. I say it means liberation, because every dollar you don't spend foolishly becomes a dollar that buys freedom, choice, and peace of mind. Remember, financial independence isn't built by earning more, it's built by keeping more. So, in your 30s, make this your standard. Earn abundantly, live wisely, and invest consistently. Let your lifestyle reflect your goals, not your impulses. Because when you learn to live on 70% and invest the rest, you're not just managing money, you're mastering your future. Debt is one of the greatest thieves of freedom ever invented. It doesn't just drain your bank account, it drains your peace of mind, your focus, your future. When you owe, you live for yesterday. You work today to pay for decisions you made months or even years ago. So in your 30s, if you truly want to move from pressure to prosperity, you must make one bold, uncompromising decision: eliminate consumer debt completely. Now, I'm not saying all debt is bad. Used wisely, debt can be a tool, a lever to build wealth. The wealthy use it to acquire assets, expand businesses, and multiply value. But the poor use it to buy pleasure and appearances. There's a world of difference between using debt for production and using it for consumption. A mortgage that buys you an appreciating property, productive. A credit card swipe that buys you another pair of shoes or a night out you can't afford, destructive. The difference isn't the amount, it's the purpose. The poor borrow for comfort, the rich borrow for creation. When I was young and starting out, I too made the mistake of using debt for lifestyle. I wanted to look successful before I actually became successful, but all it did was keep me chasing payments instead of progress. One day I realized something simple but powerful. Every dollar I owed was a piece of my future already spent, and I decided I'd rather own my future than owe it. That's when I started attacking debt with the same energy I used to chase opportunity. I listed every debt I had, from the smallest to the largest, and began eliminating them one by one. With every balance cleared, I could feel the weight lifting, and more importantly, my confidence returning. Because every step toward debt freedom is a step toward control. So make it your mission in your 30s to clear every bit of consumer debt. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans. Wipe them out. Stop borrowing for lifestyle upgrades. Don't buy to impress anyone. You can't build wealth and debt at the same time. It's one or the other. Every dollar in interest you pay could have been a dollar in investment growth. Debt delays, compounding. It postpones freedom. If you need to use credit, let it serve your goals, not your impulses. Use it to acquire something that will pay you back, an asset, a business tool, an education that increases your earning power. And even then, treat it with caution, because easy credit is one of life's most seductive traps. Your 30s are your decade to reset your financial foundation. And the best foundation is one built on ownership, not obligation. When you're free from consumer debt, your money belongs to you again, and so does your peace of mind. Because debt might buy comfort for a moment, but freedom buys happiness for a lifetime. There's a quiet kind of power that comes from knowing you're prepared. A peace of mind that money itself can't buy. I've always believed that financial success doesn't begin with risk. It begins with resilience. You can't build a skyscraper on shaky ground, and you can't build wealth on insecurity. That's why before you expand, you must protect. Before you invest, you must insulate. The rich understand this deeply. Security creates stability, and stability creates opportunity. The poor often chase growth without protection, and the first financial storm sends them back to zero. In your 30s, it's time to build your shield, your emergency fund. Think of it as your personal insurance against panic. Because life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. The job loss, the broken car, the medical bill, the slow business month. And if you're not prepared, those moments can force you into decisions that cost far more than money. They cost your peace, your focus, your confidence. But when you have 6 to 12 months of expenses saved, you don't just survive disruptions, you navigate them calmly. You get to make choices based on wisdom, not worry. When I started earning a bit more money, I thought every dollar needed to be invested. I wanted my money working, and that's good. But then I learned something crucial. Wealth isn't just built by growth, it's preserved by protection. If all your money is tied up in investments and something goes wrong, you'll be forced to pull out at the worst time, usually at a loss. That's why the wise always keep reserves. It's not laziness, it's leverage. The emergency fund isn't for profit, it's for peace. It's the foundation that allows you to take calculated risks without fear. So here's what I recommend. Start small, but start now. Save a fixed amount each month, no matter how little. Don't wait until you have extra, because if you spend everything now, you'll never have extra. Automate it, make your savings happen without emotion or decision. Keep it liquid, but separate from your daily accounts so you're not tempted to dip into it for convenience. Label it security fund, not spending fund. It's for the unexpected, not the undisciplined. And every time life forces you to use it, refill it as soon as possible. Don't think of it as lost money. Think of it as protection that paid off. You'd never complain about insurance covering your car accident, would you? The same is true here. Your emergency fund is not a sign of fear, it's a sign of wisdom. It doesn't mean you're afraid of loss, it means you're prepared for life. Because when you're protected, you can play offense with confidence. You can seize opportunities others must ignore because they're too busy surviving. So, build your safety net before you build your empire, because the rich don't sleep well because they're rich. They sleep well because they're secure. If there's one principle that separates those who merely earn from those who truly build wealth, it's the understanding that time is the greatest multiplier of money. You see, the rich don't win because they're smarter. They win because they started earlier, stayed consistent, and understood how to let time work for them. Money has a quiet magic when it's given time to grow. The poor chase fast gains, the rich harness slow, steady compounding. It's not the size of your income that builds your fortune. It's the length of your commitment to intelligent investing. Most people make the mistake of waiting. They tell themselves, I'll start when I make more, or I'll invest when things settle down. But here's the truth. Time will pass whether you invest or not. The question is whether it'll pass working for you or against you. The earlier you begin, the less you need to invest, and the greater your returns will be. That's the power of compound growth. Your money begins to earn money, and then that money earns more money. It's one of the few miracles in finance, but only for those disciplined enough to give it time. When I first started learning about wealth, I didn't understand compounding fully. I wanted results fast, the same impatience that keeps so many broke. But when I finally grasped that $1 invested wisely today could be worth $10, $20, or even $50 in the future. Something shifted in me. I realized I didn't need to chase money. I needed to plant it. I needed to build a system that worked while I slept, a strategy that multiplied quietly in the background while I focused on building value elsewhere. In your 30s, consistency matters more than brilliance. You don't need to be an expert investor, you need to be a disciplined one. Automate your investments, take a portion of every paycheck and put it into diversified long-term assets. Index funds, real estate, business equity. The specific vehicle matters less than the habit itself. Automate it so there's no debate, no delay, no decision fatigue. Because if you leave it to emotion, you'll find an excuse every month. But if you leave it to automation, your wealth grows even when you're not paying attention. And once your investments start generating dividends or profits, don't touch them. Reinvest. Let the snowball roll. The rich rarely cash out early. They understand that patience pays far more than panic. It's not exciting in the short term, but wealth isn't built on excitement. It's built on endurance. Review your portfolio quarterly, not daily. Adjust annually, not emotionally. You're not chasing headlines. You're building history. The goal isn't to beat the market. It's to let the market beat inflation and build freedom. Start early, stay consistent, be intelligent, not impulsive, because the sooner you begin letting time work for you, the sooner you'll stop working just for time. Wealth doesn't reward the impatient, it rewards the persistent. And every month you invest wisely, you're buying yourself a piece of freedom in the future. If you want to understand why the rich stay rich, it often comes down to one principle. They never rely on a single stream of income. One paycheck, one contract, one client, that's a fragile foundation. Life has a way of testing stability, and if your entire financial world rests on one source, it's only a matter of time before a disruption shakes you. That's why building multiple streams of income is not just smart, it's essential. By your 30s, you should already be thinking about more than just earning. You should be thinking about creating systems, channels, and avenues that generate cash, whether you work or sleep. The first step is to recognize that income is an expression of value. The more value you create in different areas, the more opportunities open to you. Skills, knowledge, and creativity are the raw materials of new income streams. You might start a side hustle related to your expertise, offer digital products or services online, or invest in ventures that generate dividends or royalties. Every extra source strengthens your financial resilience. When one stream slows, another can sustain you, and together they compound to create real wealth. I remember early in my own journey, I relied too heavily on a single job. I worked hard, but my earnings were limited by the hours I could physically put in. I realized that to truly build wealth, I needed leverage, a way for my efforts to generate income even when I wasn't present. That's when I started creating multiple streams: investments, partnerships, royalties, and consulting. At first, it felt like juggling too many balls, but over time, each stream became a channel that reinforced the others, creating stability and compounding growth. The key is to start small but think long term. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Identify one skill or interest you can monetize and begin. Reinvest the profits from one stream into building another, slowly constructing a network of income that works for you. By your mid-30s, the goal is to have semi-passive or passive cash flow that provides freedom, not just security. Remember, wealth isn't about working harder in one place. It's about creating many avenues where your value circulates and multiplies. Start building them now and let your money work even when you rest. Multiple streams of income are the bridge from earning to freedom, and every new channel you create strengthens your path to financial independence. When it comes to building real wealth, the most powerful step you can take in your 30s is to define exactly what you want your financial life to look like by 40. Too many people drift, hoping opportunities will appear or that luck will take care of them. But the truth is, if you don't design your life, life will design it for you, and often it won't match your dreams. That's why creating a clear wealth vision is not just an exercise in planning, it's an act of personal leadership, a commitment to your future self. Start by writing your Wealth Vision 40 statement. Picture your income, the assets you want to hold, the lifestyle you hope to enjoy, and the legacy you wish to leave behind. Be specific. Don't just say, "I want to be rich." Define the numbers, the milestones, and the freedoms you're aiming for. By giving your vision detail, you transform it from a vague dream into a measurable target. This clarity will shape your decisions and focus your energy on actions that move you toward that vision. Once the vision is written, review it regularly. Quarterly is ideal. Life is dynamic. Opportunities, challenges, and lessons will shape your path. Adjust your plan as you gain experience, increase your earning power, or discover new passions. The point isn't rigidity, it's alignment. Every day, every financial decision, and every investment should ask the question, does this bring me closer to my 40-year vision? This discipline creates a sense of direction and prevents wasted effort on distractions or short-term gratification. I've seen countless individuals in their 30s work tirelessly, yet arrive at 40 without the freedom they desired, simply because they never set a clear vision. Contrast that with those who planned deliberately. They knew where they were heading, invested with intention, and made choices consistent with their long-term goals. They didn't just react to income or opportunities, they directed them purposefully toward a predefined destination. Your wealth vision is more than numbers. It's a blueprint for freedom, impact, and fulfillment. Start now, write it down, and let every daily choice, every investment, and every action align with it. By designing your financial life today, you ensure that your 40 seconds are defined by control, growth, and meaningful accomplishment. To truly take control of your financial life in your 30s, you must learn to track every dollar as if you were the CEO of a business. Most people spend without awareness, and by the time the month ends, they wonder where the money went. Wealthy individuals understand that what you don't measure, you cannot master. Treating personal finance like enterprise finance gives you clarity, control, and confidence. This is not about obsession, it's about accountability. When you know exactly where each dollar flows, you gain the power to redirect it toward growth rather than leakage. Start by creating a system to monitor every dollar. Whether it's a personal finance app, a simple spreadsheet, or even a ledger, the key is consistency. Record all income sources and all expenditures weekly, no matter how small. This habit transforms vague awareness into precise knowledge. Categorize each expense as productive or wasteful. Productive expenses contribute to growth, such as education, investments, or essential living costs. Wasteful spending, while sometimes pleasurable, drains resources and slows your wealth-building journey. Once you can see the distinction clearly, decisions become easier and discipline becomes natural. Set monthly profit goals for your household, just as a business would. Decide how much should go into savings, investments, and personal growth each month, and treat it as a non-negotiable target. When you review your finances weekly, ask yourself, am I hitting my profit goals? Are my dollars aligned with my long-term vision? This reflection transforms. I've watched countless people work tirelessly, earning more each year, yet failing to build real wealth simply because they didn't track and direct their money. Contrast that with individuals who budget, monitor, and optimize every dollar. They consistently reinvest in themselves, reduce waste, and accelerate financial growth. By approaching your personal finances like a business, you stop being reactive and start being strategic. You gain clarity on what truly matters, control over your money, and confidence in your financial decisions. Start today, track every dollar, and watch as awareness transforms into wealth, stability, and freedom. As your income rises in your 30s, one of the greatest threats to wealth isn't taxes, bad investments, or the market, it's lifestyle creep. This silent thief disguises itself as comfort, prestige, or reward for hard work. The more you earn without discipline, the faster wealth evaporates. Wealth is not measured by income alone. It's measured by what you keep, grow, and leverage over time. Every dollar you allocate toward unnecessary upgrades today is a dollar that could have multiplied tomorrow. Protecting your money from lifestyle inflation is not about deprivation, it's about foresight and freedom. Start by setting a clear lifestyle ceiling. Decide the absolute maximum you will spend on living costs, housing, transportation, entertainment, and daily habits. This ceiling should remain stable even as your income grows. Every extra dollar earned should not automatically translate into more consumption. Instead, redirect it toward investments, savings, or income-generating assets. By doing this, you transform your income increases into real wealth creation rather than fleeting comfort. The rich don't compete with their neighbors or seek validation through spending. They invest in their future and build freedom. Review your expenses quarterly to identify any leaks. A small monthly indulgence may seem harmless, but compounded over years, it can erode financial growth. Ask yourself, does this purchase advance my long-term goals, or am I simply indulging a momentary desire? Replace incremental lifestyle upgrades with incremental investments. For example, instead of upgrading to a luxury car, invest in shares or real estate that generate cash flow. Instead of spending on the latest gadgets, increase contributions to retirement or growth accounts. I've witnessed countless people earn six figures but live paycheck to paycheck because their lifestyle adjusted faster than their discipline. Contrast that with those who lock their living standard, reinvest each income increase, and prioritize growth. They achieve financial independence far sooner, often with less stress and greater freedom. By controlling lifestyle creep, you ensure that your wealth grows silently but steadily. Discipline today is freedom tomorrow. Protect your money, invest intelligently, and watch as the compounding power of restraint transforms your financial life. Building wealth isn't just about making money, it's about keeping it. One of the most overlooked aspects of financial security is protection. The rich understand that without safeguarding what they have, every investment, asset, and income stream is vulnerable to forces beyond their control. Illness, accidents, lawsuits, or unexpected emergencies can wipe out years of careful planning in a matter of weeks. Protection is the silent pillar of wealth. Just as you wouldn't build a house on sand, you shouldn't build financial freedom without a solid risk management plan. Start by incorporating insurance into your wealth strategy. Health insurance is fundamental. It prevents medical crises from becoming financial crises. Life insurance ensures that your family or dependents are secure if something happens to you, preserving their standard of living and your legacy. Income protection or disability insurance safeguards the very engine of your wealth, your ability to earn. Without these safety nets, even modest setbacks can snowball into significant financial hardship. Review your coverage annually. Life changes quickly. Marriage, children, home purchases, and new investments all affect your insurance needs. What was adequate last year may leave you exposed today. Schedule a yearly insurance review to ensure that policies align with your current lifestyle, assets, and obligations. Adjust limits, add riders, or consolidate coverage as needed. Adequate protection is dynamic, not static. It grows with you. Document your risk management plan. List all policies, coverage amounts, renewal dates, and contacts in one central location. Include contingencies for unexpected events, such as how to handle emergency medical bills. In my experience, the individuals who maintain consistent insurance discipline build true financial resilience. They sleep well knowing that unexpected events won't derail years of hard work. Wealth is not just accumulation, it is security, freedom, and continuity. Protect your assets as rigorously as you build them, and your financial foundation will remain strong enough to support the life you envision. Wealth is not merely the sum of dollars in your bank account, it's the impact you leave behind. True financial success isn't measured by what you can spend today, but by what continues to serve and empower others long after you're gone. The rich understand that building a legacy begins early, often in the very years when others are just starting to accumulate. Your 30s are the perfect time to lay the groundwork for systems, principles, and assets that outlive you, ensuring that the life you create benefits generations to come. Start by documenting your financial wisdom. Write down the lessons you're learning as you grow your income, manage expenses, and invest in your future. Capture not only strategies that work, but also the mistakes that teach valuable lessons. This record becomes both a personal guide and a resource you can pass to others. Over time, it forms the foundation of a legacy that can educate and inspire. Consider creating a trust foundation or structured project that reflects your values and vision. It doesn't have to be enormous to be meaningful. Even modest systems can preserve wealth, protect beneficiaries, and support causes important to you. Early planning allows you to refine your structure over time, adapt to life changes, and ensure continuity in your wealth strategy. Mentorship is another essential element of legacy building. Each year, dedicate yourself to teaching one person about financial literacy, investment, or wealth-building principles. Mentoring multiplies your impact, creating ripples far beyond your personal achievements. When you actively share knowledge, you ensure that the next generation is equipped to handle opportunities and challenges wisely. In my own experience, the richest moments come from seeing the lessons and principles you've lived out being applied by others. Wealth without a legacy is fleeting. It can be spent, lost, or forgotten. But when you build systems, mentor wisely, and document your financial wisdom, your influence endures. Begin today. Start laying the foundation now, and your life will be remembered not just for what you earned, but for the value you passed on. When it comes to building wealth, the difference between ordinary people and the financially successful often isn't effort, it's systems. The wealthy understand that discipline is limited, motivation fluctuates, and emotions can derail even the best intentions. That's why they don't rely solely on willpower to save or invest. They create systems that make growth automatic. If you can automate your bills, you can automate your wealth, and the magic of compounding begins to work quietly and consistently on your behalf. Start with automating your savings and investments. Each payday, a predetermined portion of your income should flow directly into savings or investment accounts before you even see it. This removes the temptation to spend first and saves what remains later, a strategy that most people fail to implement. It ensures that your future self is taken care of while your present self maintains freedom and focus. Over time, these automatic contributions become substantial, and the power of consistency begins to compound. Next, automate reinvestment. Dividends, interest, or profits should immediately be redirected back into your portfolio rather than being withdrawn for consumption. This simple step exponentially accelerates growth. Money that remains in motion earns more money, turning passive assets into self-generating machines. Each small contribution, multiplied by time and compounded returns, can grow far beyond what effort alone could achieve. Finally, treat your system as a living framework. Each year, adjust contributions to match income growth, ensuring that your automatic system keeps pace with your evolving financial situation. Automation doesn't mean set it and forget it entirely. It requires regular reviews to ensure alignment with your goals and to optimize results. The discipline you build into the system today protects you from the emotional impulses of tomorrow and creates a foundation for wealth that grows independently of mood or circumstance. By committing to automatic growth, you remove uncertainty, preserve consistency, and allow compounding to do the heavy lifting. Start building your system. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reach the conclusion of this journey through the principles of wealth, let me remind you of something profoundly simple yet often overlooked. Your life will never change until you do. You can read all the books, attend all the seminars, and listen to all the advice in the world, but until you make the decision to apply what you've learned, your circumstances remain the same. Wealth is not about luck, inheritance, or timing. It is about discipline, planning, and the consistent application of principles that work. Think about this for a moment. A river doesn't carve valleys by force. It carves valleys by persistence. The wealthy don't accumulate riches through a single stroke of genius. They accumulate them through the steady, intentional actions they take every day. Every decision you make is either an investment in your future or a withdrawal from it. The rich understand this, and they live accordingly. They don't spend their days reacting to impulses or emotions. They plan, automate, and act consistently. And that is the first call to action I leave you with today. Decide to act with discipline. Decide that from this moment forward, your plan will lead and your emotions will follow. Now, I want you to consider the value of time. Time is the one currency you cannot earn back, no matter how rich or powerful you become. The poor often trade time for money, working for every dollar with no system to amplify their effort. The rich leverage their time. They invest it, multiply it, and guard it fiercely. You must do the same. Audit your daily routines. Ask yourself, am I spending time on things that multiply my results or merely fill my hours? Eliminate the low-value activities that drain your energy and redirect that time toward learning, creating, and investing in yourself and your future. This is not just a principle, it is a lifestyle. Next, remember that wealth begins in the mind long before it manifests in your bank account. Your philosophy determines your financial altitude. If you believe that success is for others and not for you, that scarcity defines your life, then you will unconsciously sabotage yourself. Change your philosophy first. Feed your mind with knowledge, surround yourself with people who elevate your thinking, and embrace habits that reinforce your vision of prosperity. Read for 30 minutes a day, listen to ideas that stretch your understanding, and reflect on how you can add value to others. The rich think differently, act differently, and as a result, they earn differently. Speaking of value, remember this: money follows value. You are not paid for the hours you work, you are paid for the value you create. Ask yourself daily, how can I serve more people, solve bigger problems, or produce something of lasting impact. Every dollar you earn is a reflection of the value you bring to the world. If you focus on creating value, wealth will inevitably follow. Stop chasing money. Start chasing excellence, competence, and service. While you are building value, do not neglect the power of systems. Discipline without systems is fragile. Motivation will waver, energy will fluctuate, and emotions will interfere, but a system protects you. Automate savings, investments, and reinvestments. Schedule daily habits that align with your financial and personal goals. Track your income, expenses, and returns as though you were the CEO of a small corporation. The system you create today will serve you for years, allowing compounding, both of money and habits, to work silently, steadily, and powerfully in your favor. I also want you to consider risk and protection. Wealth without security is fragile. They build emergency funds, insurance, and buffers against life's uncertainties. You must do the same. Protect yourself so that when unexpected events arise, you are not forced to liquidate assets or compromise your plan. Security doesn't make you rich. It keeps you rich long enough for your investments, discipline, and systems to flourish. Equally important is the art of saying no. Every yes to unnecessary spending, unproductive relationships, or distractions is a no to your goals. Learn to protect your time, money, and energy. Guard your focus like it were gold, because in reality, it is far more valuable than the paper money in your wallet. Every decision should serve your vision. Every action should reinforce your plan. Remember, wealth is built through subtraction as much as it is built through addition.